Alright guys, we're in the secret woods this morning under the cover of the trees because it's raining hard, and as I don't have a functional laptop for the next few days, then I'm editing videos on my phone, so I can't turn down background noise or anything like that, so you'll just have to put up with any background noise that there is. Anyway, today I'm heading to the contemplation log. Why am I heading to the contemplation log, I hear you say? Well, I'm heading to the contemplation log because I've got something to contemplate. And that is a video by someone called Hikes with David or Hikes for David. I'll leave a link anyway to his channel in the description box. And he did a video about summer wells. I don't know how many people have asked me my opinion on it. I've just lost count at this point. The video was shared loads of times in my Facebook group and I've been asked in the comments. So let's do it. I'll give my opinion on it. Heading to the contemplation log right now. Alright, so if it's your first visit to the contemplation log, well, here it is. It's a log. Can you see it? Right here. It's actually a fallen tree. And we come here to contemplate. So, hikes for David or with David. If you haven't seen the video, then David lives in the Kingsport area. So he's local to East Tennessee. I don't think he's native to East Tennessee, but he's lived in the community for a long time. So he's not a true crime channel, he does hikes. And I think the video that he did came from people asking him to hike Laurel Run Park after all of this nonsense that came out a few days ago from Fred Hill, that Summer's body is in a cave in Laurel Run Park, which is near Kingsport. And someone called Cotton Simpson, who is dead, he's the guy that's responsible for the disappearance of Summer Wells. Now, David put forward his opinion on what happened to Summer Wells. And he said, look, you know, meth is a big problem around there. There's, just a problem with drugs generally. But the people are nice. And the church community is very strong. So we know all that, right? And he can't see somebody abducting Summer other than someone who wanted to give her a better life. Now, if you've been following the Summer Wells case since the beginning, you'll know that this is not a new theory. The church, the SDA church that the Wells went to, and that Summer loved going, according to Don, and she specifically loved her Sabbath school teacher, Robin. And people have speculated, it's one theory that's always been out there. So David isn't telling us anything new, he's just giving us his opinion on what he feels happened to Summer Wells. So people like Robin and others from the church. Now, he didn't name anybody, but Robin has been named as part of this theory in the past, that she was kidnapped, Summer was kidnapped out of a bad situation, living at home on Ben Hill Road with parents who are addicts and with basically meth all around her. And we do know that meth was a problem on Ben Hill Road because Fred Hill, the local meth dealer, has now been arrested for it. Don told us this. Don's told us this from the beginning, that the meth dealers around there are a problem. You know, people coming in and out of the holler all day and all night getting meth. Anyway, so David feels that she was kidnapped with the intent of love to take her out of that bad situation and give her a better life. So wherever she is, she's alive and well and she's got a better life. Now, look, we talked about this theory very recently, when I did those back-to-back live streams, I did like 7.5 hours of live streams about Summer's suspects recently, only very recently. And that was one of the theories that we discussed in there, that she was, you know, adopted illegally. This is still kidnap, this is still abduction, whatever law you want to put on it. This is still illegal that someone would do this. You know, you can't just take a child. You can't just take a child just because you think they're in a bad situation. It doesn't work like that. So David ended with a plea to bring her back, right? And let the authorities deal with it. And let the authorities deal with the situation. Well, look, as I've always said, I don't believe this theory actually happened. Even if the logistics of it, whether, you know, Robin did it or one of the parents was involved in taking her away from a situation. You know, Don has said that he always felt that he was going to lose Summer was going to, I don't know, not be there anymore. An angel told him this. So one of the parents may be involved in taking her out of this bad situation. They've given her to someone from the church to have a better life. Now look, if Summer was abducted or kidnapped, and it's a big if, right, it's one theory, I believe that it was for evil intent. Sadly. You know, this is obviously Summer's best case scenario, that she was kidnapped and it was illegal. However, it was for her good and she's actually living life. And she'd always have to hide. They'd always have to hide her original identity. So it's not really you know, they could give her all the riches and treasures in the world, but she'd always have to be careful about her identity. Anyway, that's a secondary issue. But because if someone did take her in that way, you know, how did they get her out of the area is a practical question, I guess. But I believe if Summer was abducted, it was for evil intent. And I understand David wants to see the best in his community, the community that he lives in. However, child abduction, child murder, trafficking, horrible things happen to children everywhere in the world. Everywhere. Even in nice communities. And it would be naive not to believe that child abduction couldn't happen in that area of East Tennessee. Just look at the number of RSOs in the area. Now, I know that all the RSOs have been checked by the TBI and the FBI. However, we know that the majority of people who offend in that way against children aren't on a register because they've not been caught yet. Some of them will be caught in the future, but there's always a first time, and that first time means that they're not on a register. So no, I don't believe this happened. I think it's a long shot if it did. I don't think that people involved in the church would risk, you know, their freedom, because this is illegal, will risk their freedom, their reputation, their career, etc. on taking Summer Wells. I really don't. If money exchanged hands, that's even worse. If they sold her to a family who wanted a child, that's even worse. That's even more illegal. So I don't think that people would risk their career, their freedom for Summer Wells, however much they loved her. I really don't. And the big sticking point for me in this theory has always been, if someone was in such a bad situation with all the meth dealers and drugs and stuff around, well, that person, that Good Samaritan, left 3 little boys to suffer that bad situation, aged 12, 11 and 9 at the time of Summer's disappearance. So what did they do? Just take Summer because she's a cute little girl and leave her 3 brothers to fend for themselves in this horrible situation? I don't believe that a Good Samaritan would do that. I think a Good Samaritan would want to take the whole family out of this situation. But that's just me. That's just my opinion of it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Do you want a little bit of dog footage? Secret end of the video club? Let's do it. It's absolutely pouring down, but let's do it.
Come on, this way. Cassie.